Guys, today we are going to learn about buffer overflow attack. So what is a buffer overflow attack? A buffer overflow attack occurs when a program writes more data to a buffer than the expected. Means if we write more than the data it holds, then the buffer overflow attack chances may be higher. It may lead to memory corruption and unpredictable system behavior. So, who uses this buffer overflow attack? This buffer overflow attack may be used by cyber criminals to exploit system vulnerabilities and to execute their arbitrary code. Means if they want to gain unauthorized access, they can perform buffer overflow attack. And security researchers to analyze and strengthen system defenses against attacks. So why use a buffer of overflow attack? So why cyber criminals and ethical hackers uses buffer overflow attack to gain unauthorized access, execute malicious code, which may lead to stealing of the data and uh, to perform DOS attacks, crashing applications or systems to disrupt services and data corruption. So, if we look at the security measures to for buffer overflow attack, use safe programming practices. Means validate input sizes before storing them in buffers. Avoid functions prone to buffer overflows. Example gets, string copy, etc. Use compiler protections like stack canaries, special values placed before the return address to detect overflows. Next, keep systems updated because to the most efficient way to stop the cyber threats and attacks is to keep the system updated. Never ever prolong the updation. So on the screen, if you look at there is a diagram how a cyber criminal will perform a buffer overflow attack on the program which has been collecting the data over the size of the buffer. So there are three sections, three tables in the diagram. One is stack before the copy, stack before the buffer copy, which means the stack contains arguments, function arguments passed during execution. Next, this contains return address. Return address means the address to return to after function execution. Means after execution of function where the data should be returned. Previous frame point. Uh, this points to the previous frame. Buffer square brackets 99 to buffer 0 indicates that a buffer allocated for storing input. So if you look at the second table, malicious payload bad file means the attacker provides an input bad file that includes malicious code, arbitrary shell code or exploit code. This contains new address because he wants to steal the data to his own address. Stack after the buffer copy. So if you compare the first table and the last table, whatever the code if in the present in the first table is overwritten by the malicious code and the return address is also overwritten. So this tells us that the attacker has performed the buffer overflow attack and still stolen the data. So this is all about the buffer overflow attack.